Surgery on Thursday.
Excellent. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Territory and the Otipemisiwak Métis government. Okay. Agenda, just for discussion. I did send Lindsay an email to make some corrections just under council reports. There was a spelling error. And then I had her add my meetings with mid-sized towns mayors. Are there any other changes to the, sorry, that's the minutes. Is everybody okay with the agenda? All right, can I get a motion?
Chair,
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion that the agenda be accepted as prepared.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, now the minutes. Any other changes to the minutes? Okay, somebody want to make a motion that the minutes are accepted with the amendments?
I move that the January 21st, January 21st, 2025 regular council minutes be accepted with the amendment.
All in favor? That motion carried. Great, and we have delegations tonight. So we have BDO Canada LLP Financial Auditor Planning Report with Lorraine Walker and Morgan Govett, and they'll be online.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Hello.
I'm freezing up.
There you are.
There I am. I'll pay attention. I'm out at the farm. It may not be the best connection, so I'll take my video off if I have to. Thank you very much for accommodating me remotely. When I'm at the farm by myself, the animals still have to be fed and I don't have much travel time in between. So I appreciate being able to be online. So we're just going to go through our planning report with council as we do every year. So if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my other screen so I can see this better. So Morgan, if you can please go down, or Morgan, are you presenting this?
Yeah, if you guys can all see my screen.
Okay, thanks. So if you can just go down to the fourth slide, please. So again, this year, myself and Morgan will lead the audit and work with Amber and her team in order to get it done. The most important piece on this slide is to reiterate to council that we are compliant with all of our ethical requirements for independence of the town of Crossfield. Next slide, please, Morgan. And if you can go through our proposed timeline that you and Amber have discussed.
Yes, absolutely. So we are here presenting the planning communication and agreed upon fees. However, planning and interim work, it did begin in December 2024 and into January 2025. Our final audit field work is scheduled for March 2025. And then our release in April of 2025, which will include our presentations to member of council and our clearance meetings.
And so we'll be in person with council when we go through our final audit plan with you and discuss the findings of our audit. So I just want to remind council of our responsibilities. We will work with management towards the timely issuance of your financial statements so that you meet all of your fiduciary responsibilities. We will provide any comments that we feel will help council and the town in their management of financial matters and oversight. And then we will present our significant findings to council at the end of our audit in order to assist you in approving the financial statements for the year. I just want to remind you that this is a financial statement audit and it is not a forensic fraud audit, and therefore finding fraud is not necessarily something that would happen. The collusion can occur within an organization, which makes it difficult and outside of our testing. A forensic audit would look at things in a much more minute manner and have a much lower materiality. What we're opining on is that your financial statements are fairly stated in accordance with public sector accounting standards. We do have fraud procedures specifically over revenues and management override of controls. We will get fraud representations from management and from council, as we have done in the prior years. Should we find any fraud in our audit procedures, we will pause our audit. We will convene with council and have discussions around it, and we will adjust our auditing procedures accordingly. So if you would like to go through on slide 9 now, Morgan, because this just talks about fraud some more, what I've already summarized, the significant risks in the current year.
Okay, perfect. So we have highlighted 3 significant risks, the first one being revenue recognition. So there is a presumed fraud risk associated with revenue recognition. We will combine our substantive analytical procedures with a sample test to properly recognize revenues. We will do this by examining any funding agreements, confirm that revenues are properly recognized, accurately recorded, and if there are any restrictions. The next one being management override of controls. So this risk is inherent in all organizations, not just your organization, just to clear that up. And this is a result of management having the ability to override controls and manipulate accounting records. So we will review management's estimates for biases, inspect journal entries for unusual transactions, verify adjusting journal entries are properly approved and documented, and then, of course, perform fraud inquiries with all levels of management, including those charged with governance. Our final deferred revenue one kind of links back up to revenue recognition, but there is a risk over deferred revenue that it does not align with the funding agreements and the revenues recognized or deferred have not been valued correctly, resulting in misstatements. So for this, we will be obtaining the deferred revenue continuity schedules, agreeing any additions and utilizations to supporting documentations. So that would be new grant agreements and then the related expenditures that are allowable per those grants.
So are there any questions over our significant risk areas? These are not the only risks that we assess, but our obligation is to report to those charged with governance on all significant risks. Okay.
I don't think there's any questions. Nope.
Great. Okay. I just want to point out to council that there are 3 new accounting standards under public sector accounting standards that could potentially impact your financials. Morgan has had preliminary discussions with Amber over these, and we don't think that there will be any significant changes to your financial statements as a result. There's one on revenue recognition, and this is just on timing of recognition of revenues, certain types of revenues. Then there's a new standard over public-private partnerships and where debt and liabilities lie. And then there's a new standard should you have purchased any intangibles such as goodwill or trademarks or anything like that. And there is nothing that we're aware of at this point in time. Once we're complete our audit, if there are any changes to the financial reporting or to your accounting as a result of any of these new standards, we will report those to council at our audit findings meeting. So if you can just go on to materiality now. We have assessed preliminary materiality based on interim financial statements. So this number is likely to change by the time we finalize our audit. Preliminary materiality is based on a percentage of expenditures because you have a fiduciary responsibility to expend any revenues in accordance with agreements or in accordance with your bylaws, etc. Now, just because overall materiality is 445,000, that is not how we assess our testing. We have another level of materiality to assess sample sizes called performance materiality. And then we have clearly trivial amounts that are much, much lower, less than 5% of this materiality where we would not investigate. And they would go to our summary of unadjusted differences. Should the total of that summary of unadjusted differences get close to materiality within 75%, then we would start to request that management make those adjustments. But we would also have those conversations with council so that they're fully aware of any unadjusted entries. The next few slides go through our audit process. So how we scope in our planning, we identify risk, we look at the audit evidence we receive, then we go back and we may reassess our processes and our significant risks. And we reiterate this cycle until hopefully we can sign a clean audit report. The firm now is subject to new quality matters, and we actually are audited ourselves now to make sure that we are in accordance with the Canadian Standards on Quality Management. We do have a report that's on our internet, on our website, that you can look at to see how our firm has been graded and assessed in regards to our quality management. So our audit responsiveness in action, it's just consistency. Go down one more slide. I'm ahead of you now, I think. There we go. This just talks about how we make sure that we're consistent in our execution, that we use a digital approach, as you'll see in the next few slides. We have our proprietary global audit software, which we use, and we also use a very secure portal to share information. So you can skip over those next two slides because I already spoke about them. And that gets us to our engagement letter. So our engagement letter for the current year was dated September 25th, goes to our fee estimates, which is on page 21. If you go to that, slide 21 right there. So this is in accordance with the proposal that we gave you a couple years ago. Our fees have not changed. And then it was signed by Kinsey, and we are now in the process of starting your audit. So that's our planning in a nutshell. Any questions from council?
No, it looks like we're good.
Okay, well, we're thrilled to have Amber back on the team and really looking forward to working with everyone in the current year.
Sounds good. Thanks for your presentation and your thoroughness. Appreciate it.
All right. We will see you when the audit is over.
You bet.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. There's no further any discussion around that, then can I get a motion?
Through the chair,
Councillor Lambert.
I'll make the motion that council accept the financial auditor planning report as presented for information.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, item 5.1, Crossfield and District Recreation Board member appointment. Russ Nash, Director of Community and Protective Services.
Thank you, Mayor Harris. Good evening, Council. As Mayor Harris noted, we do have a recommended appointment to the Recreation Board, a member of the community who's interested in sitting on the Crossfield District Recreation Board. Her name is Dorothy, and she's here with me, and I don't know that I'm going to try the last name, so I'm not going to mess it up. So yes, Dorothy is a resident of Crossfield. Her application is before you. So as I mentioned, Dorothy is here in council with us. If you've got questions or anything like that, we're here
Great.
for you.
Dorothy, I don't have any questions, but I just really appreciate when volunteers with the experience that you have are volunteering for one of our boards in Crossfield, and I think you'll really like our recreation board members. They're a good group, and they make some pretty neat decisions for the town. So, welcome aboard shortly. Any questions for Dorothy or comments?
First, I just want to thank you for stepping up here, but I am curious, I think it's your last name. I'm looking.
Exactly the way it's spelled, Rhoda.
Mm-hmm.
That's all for me. Thank you.
Are you a CFL member or a fan?
No, unfortunately not.
No, because anybody who's ever watched Winnipeg, like, my brother played for Winnipeg for like,
Fun.
I guess people, it was starter in Airdrie for a golf game last summer. He knew right away.
Yeah.
He said, oh, you're both.
Nice.
Say
That's
it
good.
without even a hint.
Director Nash.
Sorry, through the chair. I just also, I guess, wanted to just maybe open it up to Dorothy if you had anything you'd like to say to council other than what's in your application.
I think I just wanted to be very clear that I've been raised and have always come from the understanding that you get out of the community what you put into it. So this is my way right from the start of building.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay. If there's no further discussion or questions, can I get a motion? We don't have to arm wrestle for it.
I just want to start coughing.
Hey, I'll make the motion that council approve the appointee of Dorothy Rhoda Scores to the Crossfield and District Recreation Board for a 3-year term expiring February 2028.
Hey, all in favor?
Aye.
Welcome aboard.
And if it's all the same for you all.
Yeah, all good. You'll see myself and Councillor Fox at the Recreation Board meetings.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Item 5.2, Purple Proclamation for Epilepsy Awareness. Director Lindsay Nash. Oh, title change.
Yeah.
I'll get that right next time. So it's Administrative and Legislative Services Manager.
So,
Hmm.
good evening, council. Administration is providing council on a request that the town has received for a proclamation to proclaim March 26, 2025 as Purple Day in support of epilepsy awareness in the town of Crossfield. To provide council with some background, more than 30,000 people in Calgary and Southern Alberta are living with epilepsy diagnosis. When someone has a seizure, a discharge of excess electrical activity in the brain affects how a person feels, thinks, and behaves. The symptoms range from mild to debilitating and can last anywhere from seconds to minutes. The Calgary Epilepsy Association is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing support and education and advocacy for individuals and families affected by epilepsy in our community. March is Epilepsy Awareness Month in Canada, and every March 26 marks Purple Day for Epilepsy Awareness. And the Calgary Epilepsy Association is requesting the town of Crossfield proclaim March 26 as Purple Day to help raise awareness and reduce the stigma on those living with epilepsy. Administration is recommending council proclaim March 26 as Purple Day for Epilepsy Awareness in the town of Crossfield. And attached is their letter and the actual proclamation.
Excellent. Thank you. Questions for Manager Nash? Okay. There's no questions, then I'll move that council proclaim March 26, 2025 as Purple Day for Epilepsy Awareness in the town of Crossfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's easier now. We only have one Director Nash. Okay, that brings us to counselor's business. Over the last 2 weeks, I've had 2 mid-sized towns meetings. We met with Minister McIver and 2 staff members from Premier Smith's team to further discuss funding for mid-sized towns. The meeting went well. We now have a working committee, and we're going to continue to regularly meet with Minister McIver to figure out a solution for funding for mid-sized towns. And we'll keep you updated on how that goes. Excellent. Deputy Mayor Fox.
I have nothing further to report.
Councillor Brennan.
On Saturday, this last weekend, I had my Marigold Library Board meeting. Nothing too crazy to report. The only big thing would be from the budget. We had to go, my apologies, because I can't exactly explain why. But we had to change from the Alberta Treasury to the Municipal Affairs population numbers. So that changed our revenue on the budget. That would be about the biggest thing that I got. Beyond that, it was governance, internal, and problems with the leaky roof with the new building. So that's all for me.
Thank you. Councillor Fox.
Oh, I am.
Deputy Mayor Fox.
We did mine already.
No, I'm sorry. Councillor Gustafson.
It was a typo.
I'm having a night.
That's all right. Last Wednesday, I had a Rocky View Foundation meeting, which was great. We talked about audit as well and our upcoming. And that's about it we had lots of stuff on our plate, but actually we're looking to kind of revise some talking points that our CAO will be sending to us that I can add to each agenda after every meeting that we have.
That's excellent. And Chris is coming to present here, right? From the foundation?
On every time?
No. Wasn't he coming to present to our council?
No, he had come. He's already been here already.
For this year or last year?
This year,
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
but we will have him again for sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You bet.
Thank you. Councillor Lambert,
Nothing to report.
Councillor Vang,
Nothing to report.
okay, and Councillor Knight sends his regrets. Can I get a motion, please?
Through the chair,
Councillor Gustafson,
I will move that the councillor reports be accepted as presented.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
That motion is passed. Administrative update, 7.1, acting CAO Steve Altina.
Thank you, Mayor Harris. Good evening, council. I'll be providing the monthly administrative update for January 2025. On the public works and infrastructure side, it was a little bit lighter month in January, not a lot of snow. But we do continue to work with external firms on several studies related to the town's wastewater management to help inform our next steps. Upcoming, we'll be issuing a request for quotation. It'll be issued for the procurement of a new backhoe loader as approved in the 2025 provisional capital plan. Under planning and development, another little bit of a quieter month. We received 1 redesignation and 1 subdivision application, and we received 3 development permit applications, including 2 applications for new homes. Upcoming is the MDP is scheduled for first reading on February 18th, 2025, and we continue to work with Urban Systems to get that refined and in front of council at that meeting in February. On public safety, I'd like to update council that the Regional Fire Services Agreement with Rocky View County has been renewed. Highlight includes a 2% annual increase added to the fee collected from Rocky View County for fire services provided by the Crossfield Fire Department to the agreed upon service area within the county's jurisdiction. In 2025, this fee will be $193,800 for the first 100 calls, and each subsequent year will see a 2% increase until the end of the term. Under community service and events, administration would like to highlight that all 6 park signs included in the 2024 capital replacement project have now been installed. Casco, Banta, Murdoch, Walker, Weagle, and Crockett parks. We'd also like to update council that administration is working on a grant application to the Active Transportation Fund to support some of our 2025 capital projects, including the annual pathway and sidewalk replacement programs, as well as the Safe Roads Improvement Program, which was a new program underneath the 2025 capital budget. Under administrative services, administration notes that the 2025 municipal election nomination packages are now available, and as of January 28th, the returning officers received one nomination package for the office of mayor. Administration continues to participate in training sessions related to the permanent electors register and returning officer roles and responsibilities. Also in January, property tax penalties were applied on arrears balances. Penalties totaling about $46,700 were applied to 58 properties. And this is down significantly from the prior year of around $68,850 applied to 78 properties, indicating further compliance with folks paying their property tax. Upcoming under administrative services, we have a recruitment drive essentially underway right now. There's a number of positions that are open and that the town is actively recruiting for, including the new accounting technician to help out with CFO Amber's and Oulette's team, new asset management coordinator, which was a new position under the new budget for 2025, executive assistant under the budget, administrative clerk vacancy to fill upcoming retirement. Water and wastewater operations strategist, bill operations support at the water and wastewater team, and that's a vacancy. HR and payroll administrator, a temporary 12-month term to cover maternity leave, and our various seasonal student positions, up to 13 students this year, of which we've applied for the Canada Student Job Grant again this year to have some of those costs recovered for the town. That concludes our administrative update. We're available for any questions.
Excellent, thank you. Any questions for acting CEO? No questions. Excellent. Can I get a motion? Councillor Brennan. All in favor? Motion carried. Outstanding items list. Acting CEO Steve Altina.
Thank you, Mayor Harris. No specific updates to outstanding action item list from administration today. We will note that the town-owned lands inventory down number 004 will be presented to council in a workshop setting on February 18th. So council will receive some additional information on that day regarding the town-owned lands.
Excellent. Any questions? Wow, letting you off easy tonight. All right. Can I get a motion?
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Councillor Gustafson.
I'll move that the outstanding items list be accepted and presented.
All in favor? Motion carried. Okay, can I get a motion to go into closed session? For item
Chair,
8.1.
I'll move to go into closed section. Pass. 25 after 7.
Okay, all in favor? Motion carried. Councillor Vang, do you mind Motion carried. And can I get another motion, please?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Nope, not yet.
Oh, sorry.
We'll need a motion to accept the report for information. Counselor Brennan. All in favor?
Bye.
Motion carried.
Now I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you.